Welcome back, everyone, to That's It. So, I've been hearing rumors and incorrect news in regards to Kanachi case, and they're saying that the case is closed. But I just want to inform you that the case is not closed in regards to her disappearance. The case is closed for Joshua Riibe for his involvement in this whole situation, according to the DR judge. So the case is closed for him and of his involvement. However, the case is still open with Kanachi. Okay, and please don't come at me if I'm saying her name incorrectly. I'm pronouncing it the best that I can. I have an accent, and I'm doing the best that I can to pronounce her name because I want to, say her name correctly. So the case apparently is still open, and like I said, I'm a voice for her because we need to be a voice for her. We need to be continue to talk about this case, and we should not let it die down. We should not let it go away. We should continue talking about this, and this case should continue to stay alive, and we should be continue talking about it. Whether if you guys have a social media, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, talk about it as much as you can because we need a voice for her because her parents are not speaking in her behalf. Her parents declare her dead, which is rightfully wrong in my opinion. And now that I'm doing more research in the background of her family, I can understand why they're doing it, and I'm going to explain to you why they declare her dead and the whole reason behind this. So, she's Indian. She comes from an Indian background, an Indian family, and with their culture, because she went to Dominican Republic and Punta Cana during her spring break, and then they saw footage of her, going out with her girlfriends and drinking and having a good time, and that's not a good look for the Indian culture. They're very strict when it comes to the culture that they're in. They can't date outside their race. Sometimes when when people do that, their parents, excuse me, disown them forever. You know, until they come around and decide, what, this person loved my son or my daughter, I'm going to accept them in the family. They're very strict when it comes to that. They're very strict in everything, and they take their religion, their community very, very seriously. So just keep this in mind. Just imagine that your daughter's out having fun with her girlfriends during a spring break, a college break, and you see footage of her drinking and dancing and just having a good old time what a 20-year-old college student should do. Like we all have done it in our life, go out and drink and party and go to clubs and stuff like that. But back then, we didn't have the social media and all that stuff to broadcast it. And just imagine the pressure that Kanaki parents are feeling by other people in their community. Look at this. Look at your daughter, out in a bar drinking and doing this and doing that. It's just an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to our community. It's embarrassing to your family. We just don't want this to be publicized. We just don't want more information about it. So just imagine the community putting pressure to the family to say, what, just declare this girl dead and be the end of it. So meaning that they won't be talking about it anymore because the parents declare her dead. So now there won't be any spectacle about the whole situation that happened to her, which is completely wrong. Okay, when I watched that footage of the father making that statement to declare that their daughter declare her dead by accidentally drowning, you can see the mother's face. She had to walk away. Okay, she did not want it to accept it or hear it. She walked away with tears. When I saw that, you guys, it broke my heart. Literally, I was in tears because I felt her pain. Even though I'm not a mother, but I felt her pain. I have 4 nieces, 2 sisters, okay? Several best friends that I love and care about. I felt her pain. Like her pain was just internal in me. And for me looking at that, she did not accept that. She didn't want to accept that her child drowned. to declare her daughter dead. But with the pressure of the community and also the pressure of their authorities, because they want this to go away. They don't want to be a whole spectacle of reporters and people are investigating and asking questions at the bar, looking at the footage. They don't want that. They want it to go away, which that is wrong. That is a human being who was taken in sex trafficking, okay? She did not drown. Everyone knows it, okay? I believe the mother knows it in her heart, but she has to follow her husband's lead because that's part of the culture and in the community. I feel like she didn't have a say. I feel like she was being pressured to go along with this, which is absolutely wrong. She is a mother. That is her daughter out there somewhere being taken against her will. And for her to accept that her child is dead is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And her daughter is not dead. Her daughter is much alive. I can feel it in every fiber of my being. I'm just not saying it just to say it, to get likes, to get clicks, to get subscribers. I'm dead as serious. This girl is alive, okay? I guarantee you, if they would have done a ransom from the beginning, there would have been a response, okay? Because money talks. There would have been a response right away, you guys, right away. And for them to pressurize these families, the parents, pardon me, to tell them to shut it down. We don't want to talk about this anymore because your daughter is a disgrace because she went out drinking and partying and went out with a random stranger man, and that's why she got missing. That's her fault. No, it's not her fault. She's young. You know what I mean? We all have done young and stupid things in our life, but it doesn't mean that you disown your daughter. It doesn't mean that you dismiss her. It doesn't mean that you declare her dead because she did something stupid, went out with her friends drinking. She's 20 years old. At that age, that's what we all do. We all go out to go on vacations with our girlfriends and we do stupid things. But it doesn't mean that you should disown your child because he did something reckless by drinking, by going with a random college student. That's just unacceptable, and it shouldn't be accepted. I'm speaking for the mother. I want to speak for her and have a voice for her to stand up to these people in the community, stand up to her husband and say, listen, no, we're going to reach out to DJ Ward, the investigator. We're going to reach out to the attorney from the DR and say, listen, we're not going to declare our daughter dead. We need your help. We need your help to find our daughter. Listen, they live in Virginia. They have all the resources that they need. It's not like they live in India or in a foreign country. They have all the resources that they need. And TJ Ward, in which I spoke to him yesterday, he cannot do anything until he gets the parents' blessing. If he gets the parents' blessing, then TJ Ward has the law enforcement backing him up to help him to do his search and to find Konanki. Okay, he already know the immigration lawyer to help him to the area to start the search, but he cannot do anything, you guys, until he gets the parents' blessing. In order to get the parents' blessing to start, because then he has the law enforcement to back him up. You understand? He wants to help. He can start a GoFundMe and raise $20,000. I even asked him, what can I do? You know, to do something separately. But he said that's a what's the word? He will consider it. However, he needs the parents' blessing. And I hope the parents are listening or watching somewhere, or the inner voice in the mother and say, listen, this is my daughter. Okay, I don't care what the community says. This is my daughter, and I need to find her because her body has not been found. It's almost been 4 weeks, you guys. It is April 1st, and her body still not have been found. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. And for them to pressurize these parents and tell them that, oh, you know what, wash your hands of it. That's wrong. That is wrong, because this girl is probably fighting for her life to escape where she's at, to come home. She needs hope. She needs to know that someone is there advocating her. I'm advocating her. People who have their platform are advocating for her, okay, to bring her home, to bring her to safety. Can you imagine that you have your son and daughter was taken and then you just give up on them? Can you imagine that? And then 5 years down later, 10 years later, 6 years later, that your son and daughter is alive? Can you imagine that? That can happen. But we don't want to wait 5 years or 10 years from now. We need to do something now and take action. It's super important and super critical to take action now. And we, as as a as a person who does not podcasts and influencer, we have the voice. We have the voice to speak up and say this is unacceptable. This we can't accept. I will never accept this until we find a body. Okay, she is very much alive, and until there's a body found, the girl is alive still. Okay, and TJ Ward is ready to take action and ready to do what he needs to do, but he needs his parents' permission. He is trying to reach out to the mother so the mother can, put some sense to her husband and just tell the community back the F up. Excuse my language. Back up. This is my child. I don't care what you say. Because no, I can't sleep. She probably can't sleep or can't eat or can't think. She's probably in depression right now because what her husband said and in that statement, and then for the community and then for the authorities to say something to the parents, say, well, your daughter drowned because we saw her sandals, we saw her bathing suit shawl, which that could have easily been planted. Okay, they didn't do their investigations thoroughly. In my opinion, they didn't, because you see the footage, and you see the footage of those two men, the bartender sniffing that guy with the black cap and the black t-shirt sniffing that cup, fist pumping the bartender. I believe the bartender was involved in this because Riu Republica Hotel, that resort, they have a bad rap. Missing girls, girls been missing, girls been roofied and drugged. I believe the bartender had something to do with it. There's a pattern here, and when there's a pattern that girls are missing, girls are being drugged and roofied, that's suspect to me. Okay, and no one's not doing the investigation, and I believe that they know. The authorities know what's going on, and they're not saying or doing anything. They're not doing the investigation. They're not investigating the bartender who could have possibly drugged Konanki, who could have possibly done that to her and to other young girls as well. It's a possibility, and I believe that it may have happened. It may have happened that they were roofied or drugged and went missing, and no one has talked about it or said anything because they want it to go away. They want it to go away. They don't want any bad publicity for tourism to come and visit, because that's the money. That's the money. Without the tourism, they don't make any money. They don't make any income. So they don't want bad press. They want to make sure that this goes away so more people will come. But I'm telling you right now, I advise anyone, okay, anyone who decides to go on vacation, don't go to the DR. Go to Miami, go to Europe, go somewhere, okay? But don't go to the DR, because God forbid if you get roofied or drugged or missing, then they will not find you. And I made it very clear. And that's my opinion. They will never find you because they don't care. Okay, because obviously they don't care about this young girl who's been missing almost for 4 weeks and nothing. No leads, no, absolutely nothing. Absolutely the bare minimum. Okay, they don't care. They just say that the girl drowned and that's it. When there's no body, there's nothing. And to me, it's disgusting. To me, I'm appalled by this whole situation because this is unacceptable. You have someone, the investigator, TJ Ward, who is ready to take action and ready to find her. I believe, I'm telling you this with every fiber of my being, you guys. If the parents will give that man blessing, I guarantee he will find something. He have that technique with that AI that he can that machine can read Joshua's transcript and he can tell or know if this guy's telling the truth or not. I don't understand why the parents don't see that. I don't other parents don't want to know the truth where their daughter is because she's clearly not dead. And someone needs to really, really talk and advocate for the parents here and tell the parents, listen, stop listening to other people, okay? Follow your heart. Follow what your heart is telling you. I know they're very religion. Pray. Pray about it. And change your mind and say that your daughter is not dead, that you will go full force in an investigation of finding your daughter. I guarantee you, if they do that, they will not regret it. They will not regret it. They will look back and say, I'm glad that I listened. I'm glad I did not listen to anyone that told me anything. Who cares? Who cares about the embarrassment? We all have done foolish things in our life, okay? It's not a big deal. She went drinking. She got a little bit drunk. She went with a random college student at the beach. Okay, it's not a big deal. You can advise her or tell her what she did was wrong when she comes home. That's the most important thing. But by not saying anything, by not doing anything, it's going to be shoulda, woulda, coulda. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to know what if, or I should have done that. I should have done this. We don't want to do that. So I'm advocating for the parents. I'm advocating for Konanki. I'm advocating for all of this because this is just crazy, you guys. This is absolutely crazy that she still has been missing. Her body has not been found. Nothing. It's absolutely ridiculous. And TJ Moore is ready to make things happen and look for the girl. But he needs the parents' blessing in order to do that, in order to have law enforcement to back him up. I don't know about you, but I couldn't do it. I could not just write off my daughter or son. I just can't. I would die, like I said. I would die. And I wouldn't give a damn what the community or anyone says about my child. That is my child. That's my child that I carried for 9 months. And I'm going to go high on water to find her or him. I don't give a damn what anyone says. Who cares? That's your child, and they should not even care. But with the community and everything, they care about that. They care about what they think or how they're going to react. But I'm telling you, in my opinion, they shouldn't care because that's their daughter out there somewhere alive, and she's fighting to get back, and she needs all the hope and the prayer that she needs to fight where she's at right now, to come home alive. And we need, each and one of us need that voice for her and for the parents to keep that spirit alive, to keep this case alive, to keep this story alive. Because I'm not going anywhere. Until they recover her or find her or whatever, we're going to continue talking about this. I'm going to continue talking about this. I will not rest, okay? I have not been sleeping because all I've been doing is thinking about this girl. Imagine if it was my niece, my sister, my friends out there, and there was no body, still alive somewhere, and someone took her against her will. It's unfathomable to me. It's unfathomable that the DR authorities are not doing anything about it. It's unfathomable that her friends are not saying anything, or Joshua's parents are not saying anything, not even helping or anything. They just want it to go away like it never happened. But it did happen. It did happen. The girl went missing on March 6th, you guys, okay? Whatever. I don't care how many ways you slice it and dice it and try to avoid it, not having interviews or whatever. It happened. It's not going to go away, okay? So you can just go hide underneath a rock somewhere and thinking that this is going to blow off smoke or die down. It's not. It is not. Because we're going to continue talking about this. We're going to continue saying her name because we want her to come home. Because what happened to her was not right and not fair. And for them to dismiss her and not do their jobs is disgusting to me. And it's appalling. And it's unacceptable. And they should do better. They should do better. They should realize if it was their child, what would they do if it was their children or their child? Pardon me. What would they do? They will go high waters to try to find their child. So if you would do it for your child and look heaven on earth to find them, why you cannot do this for this young girl? 20-year-old college student who has her whole life ahead of her, a med student, a parent that's suffering and grieving right now because they're taking your word for it. And then they're listening to their community saying that they don't want the embarrassment. They don't want the spectacles. They don't want the interview. So what? Who cares? That is their daughter. Who cares what people say? It doesn't matter. What matters is bringing her home alive. That's what matters. Not letting this girl suffer. Okay? Not letting her suffer. That's the most important thing. And I just don't understand why people don't say that. And I am pissed. I am outraged because no one's not doing anything about it. The one person who wants to do something about it, he can't do anything because he needs his parents' permission. TJ Ward, he can't do anything. He's like on the standstill. But I'm praying and hoping that he reached out to the parents and reach out to the mom and convince her to change her mind. That's what we need to be praying for. Convincing her to change her mind so TJ Ward and his team can get to work to find her. I guarantee you, once the mother and the father give their blessing, things will happen. You mark my words. Things will happen. Things will change. You will find answers. Okay? We will find answers. But again, you got to continue praying that Konanki comes home. You need to pray for the parents to give TJ Ward their blessing to start this investigation. And I just wish that I could just talk to Konanki's mom and just say everything's going to be okay. That don't listen to anyone. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. What is your gut and your heart telling you? That's what I want to tell her. Listen to that. Listen to that inner voice. Don't listen to anyone else. This is your daughter, your firstborn child. Okay? When she walked away, she did not want to do that statement. Okay? She did not want to declare her daughter dead because she had to go by and listen to her husband because he's the man of the house. And then they didn't want any spectacles in their community or in the DR. She had to go along with it, which that's so wrong. Not on her part, on their part, what they're doing to her. Because this woman is suffering, okay? She's in agony. And no mother should go through that. No father should go through that either. And they should say, I don't give a damn what you say or what you think. I'm going to find my daughter. The hell with you. I'm not going to declare her dead. Point blank, period. And that's what needs to happen, you guys. That's what needs to happen. And I just want to say, you guys, I really appreciate all of your comments, all of your feedbacks. You guys are spot on and on the money here. And I really appreciate each and one of you commenting, subscribing to this video, and giving me that confidence and letting me continue to go on with this case and keep talking about it, because I promise you I will not rest. I'm going to keep talking about this until I'm blue in the face that you guys are sick of me talking about this, okay? Because those people in the DR, they need to be exposed. They need to be exposed on the corruption. They need to expose what's been going on in that hotel, okay? With the bartenders drugging young college students and they're missing and stuff like that. They need to do a total investigation at that resort, because that resort doesn't seem right. Something is wrong. Okay, something is extremely wrong and they're covering up and they don't want no one to expose what's been going on in that resort. Okay, I have a highly suspicious that they've been doing this for a very long time, you guys. They've been doing it for a very long time and they haven't been caught until what happened on March 6th. Okay, and they need to be exposed. And that's why TJ Ward is trying to do, but again, he needs their parents' permission in order to do that. Okay. It's April 1st. We cannot waste any more time. We need to have TJ Ward and his team to get to work, to find her, to bring her home to safety. Okay? And the parents, I'm sorry, you guys, the parents need to reconsider their decision. They need to reconsider. Please. And I'm begging you and I'm asking you, and I'm talking directly to Konanki's family. And I'm saying the last time, well, I am so sorry, but I'm just so heartbroken for them. And I just pray and hope that you really really consider your decision and not declare your daughter dead. I'm telling you, and I just will not say this. She is not dead. She is not dead. You don't have to take my word for it, but follow your gut, follow your intuition, pray. I'm telling you, your daughter is alive. She is alive. She was taken against her will. And I just hope and pray that they will reconsider their decision and have TJ Ward on board with this, and for him to do his investigation, do what he knows best, finding the truth, finding answers. And there's no one else that I can think of who can do it but him, honestly, because I've seen his work, I've seen his website, I see what he did with Natalie Hollowell, amazing, and his team, amazing. So he's the best guy. He's the best guy for this case and for this investigation. And again, I hope everyone will just keep talking about it and just not give up on this case at all, not give up on her, and not give up on the parents. And I just want to say again, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this and commenting on this disappearance of Konanki, and let me know what your thoughts are about this. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going with this and not give up and not lose hope. Again, until we find a body, she's very much alive. I believe she is very much alive, and no one can tell me otherwise. That is the intuition that I'm having, and it's very strong. And I'm not just saying it just to say it. The girl is alive, and she is alive somewhere against her will, trying to fight back and get back somewhere safe. So let me know your thoughts about this. Thank you so much for watching. That's it with Cheryl. I really love you guys and appreciate you all, the kind words, the subscribe, the comments, and everything. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me, that you guys are taking the time and listening to what I have to say. And honestly, I'm just very passionate. I'm very passionate about something that is very important and dear to my heart, especially this case. If it was anyone else, I'd be doing the same thing. If it was one of my family members, the same thing. Like, I would be going crazy if one of my loved ones were missing and no one's not taking that. I don't know. I would be going nuts, and I would do whatever I can to find them. I would not rest. Again, you have to kill me. You have to put me down in order for me to stop, because I won't stop. I won't stop at all. I'm going to continue this until my last dying breath, until we find her. Point blank, period. That's it. That's it. That is it. And that is all I have to say, you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. That's it with Cheryl. I really appreciate and love you guys all, and take care.